on how you think about it. You know, when our kids are growing up, who do we attend to? You know, most men attend to overprotecting their daughters than they are their sons. You know, they'll let their boys go out and do whatever. You know, of course, I tell my son, you know, and I may be at fault at this, but I tell my son, as long as he makes good grades and he stays out of damn trouble and he's being respectful in the places that he's been, you know, he's got all the freedom in the world. I didn't have that. When I grew up, I moved in with my father at the age of 12, and I moved out at the age of 17. You know, I did nothing. You know, I didn't go spend the night with my friends. I didn't go to high school parties. I either went to work or went home unless I was playing basketball for a team. Like recreation league or school league, whatever it may be. That's the only times I got out. You know, I don't want to do that with my kids. But, you know, we do tend to be a little bit more overprotective of our daughters, which that could be one reason why. You know, that's the type of discipline that we should be giving both our kids, not just our daughters, but our boys too. You know, they deserve to have just as much talk about sex and everything else, so that way they don't end up single parents early. You know, of course, me and my first wife did. We were 20 and 18, but you know, we were done with high school. We had got through that stage. We were actually engaged. We almost did everything right. But, you know, you know, over time we grew apart and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's still the same way today. You know, my daughter is more or less the one that stays at home. She reads. She is very active whenever her friends are around. She doesn't play video games a lot. She's more likely to study for a test. Now, my son, you know, he's not a video game fanatic like he was way back in the day, but, you know, he gets out, he's productive. When it's time to go to work, he goes to work. You know, he does well in school, he stays out of trouble. You know, but, I mean, I kind of agree with what Tucker's saying is, you know, and I think it's our generation that's kind of started this trend with guys. Is, you know, we don't think a lot of staying in shape anymore and stuff like this. Some of us have just had so much bad relationships. You know, it's guys' fault for this too, but, you know, some of us, like myself, you know, been in so many bad relationships that it's just, you know, you just got that wall up. And it's hard to let somebody in and to break it down. And you know, that saying is true. When you're not looking, it usually pops in front of you. And, you know, that's the case for a lot of us. But a lot of men do live on their own nowadays. You don't see that many. I mean, most of my friends, except for maybe one or two, are at home living with their spouse. You know, 99.9% of the people I hang around are married or with somebody. You know, that's just the type of environment that I choose to be in. Now, there are some of my friends out there that are just single, you know, both women and female. But if you look at it a lot, you know, when you see a female, then you usually do kind of see her, you know, holding hands with somebody. But you see a lot of guys that just aren't out there with women. And I know that seems kind of weird to talk about it that way, but if you next time you're in a mall, see how many women are walking with a man or holding hands with a man compared to a man that's not walking with anybody. You see less women walking around with nobody than you do men. So, yeah, that's kind of spot on with what he's talking about. You know, and even with the Army physical fitness test. Come on, guys. That test is too fucking easy to pass. It really is. All you gotta do is stop eating shitty. You gotta get up and go run. You gotta do push-ups, sit-ups. You have to lift weights. You know, once you make it in the military and you start going through your PT test and you see where you have to improve, just doing push-ups, sit-ups, and running is not going to improve you dramatically. You have to push your limits. You know, you got a 2-mile run on your PT test. Why are you running 2 miles? Why aren't you running 4? You know, when it comes to push-ups and sit-ups, Why are you not in the gym lifting weights, lifting more than what your body weight is? Working those muscle groups rather than just going out there doing 100 to 200 push-ups every time you do PT. It's, you have to push your body up above those limits to get your body to work at those limits. For me to be able to run a 14-minute 2 mile, I had to run my ass off at 4 miles. And I got it down to 7-minute miles. That's when I kind of figured, okay, let's take it to the 2. That's the fastest time I ever ran it. Push-ups and sit-ups, about halfway through Virginia, I always started maxing them. I maxed them out every time from there. I just love being in the gym. And that's something that I learned during my first deployment, was a lot of the physical training that we were getting. Not saying that it wasn't good, but even they would tell you, this is only to keep you to standard. You go above standard, you have to do it on your own time. Even though we kind of thought, I challenged my first sergeant one time to some PT. I was like, all right, you do it your way for a month. Now let's do a PT test. Let's take about 15 days off and then do it my way for a month and then have a PT test and see who comes out on top. And it ended up being me by over 50%. And that's just because we got up in the morning time. We went and ran 4 miles. It wasn't blistering hot. It was kind of dark at first. By the time you got through that first quarter of a mile, the sun came up. It was nice outside. You came back. You went and done your stuff to get ready for work, go eat breakfast and all that good stuff. And then in the afternoon, after work, you were required to go to the gym for at least 2 hours. And if you had a hard time setting up a workout program, then that's where me and a few of my buddies that stayed in the gym and worked out, that's where we came into play. Hey, you're having issues with, your training, sit down with me and let's come up with you a training schedule and go off this training schedule and you'll be fine. And a lot of people did. So, we was pretty ecstatic about that and ecstatic about the turnout. But, it is the men in America and the shit that's wrong. Holy crap, man. Come on, guys. Time to step up your game again. I'm proud I'm happy for all the women who are, getting all these management jobs and who are going to more prestigious colleges and stuff like that. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all should not be treated any less or any more than men. Y'all should go. Y'all are going out there dominating workforce right now, and that's a good thing. Y'all deserve that. Y'all deserve the wages and stuff that you get. If guys can't. People in general can't be on time and stuff. That should go to the people that is on time every day. Even before the military, I would still show up at work 30 to 45 minutes early. You never knew what was going to happen. I just always had it in my mind. I always wanted to be there early. I never wanted that to be an issue with me going to work, is not being able to make it on time. And I'd get up way earlier than if I was supposed to be at work at 7 o'clock. I was usually sitting there about 6:15, 6:30. And that causes for me to leave the house about 5:30. And I was okay with that, And if you get up, and this is something that I sat down and I thought about, just for humans in general. If you get up early in the morning, if you get up around 5 o'clock, start your day, use the bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your face, go in and eat breakfast, sit down and have you a cup of coffee or something like that, and then go on about and start your day, wherever it be, going to work or something like that. The more that you put your lifestyle in a routine, a healthy routine, and keep yourself active, you're more likely to be physically and mentally tired, which is not a bad thing, by the end of the day, and that would help a lot of us insomniacs. Now, yes, I suffer from insomnia too. That's because my brain won't shut off. That's part of military thinking. There was always something to do, always something to think about somewhere, somehow. So, we did, we went back on a few things, Sorry, that went before I wanted it to. But, yeah, I mean, you just got to put yourself in a good routine. You got to, do the right things for your body and your mind. They was talking about, guys on a lot of pain pills, a lot of opioids and stuff like that. Yes, unfortunately, there is. And it sucks because it makes harder for people like myself who's missing a limb and has another limb put back together with more metal than you can shake a damn iron hook at. Some of us need that. The girl that I'm seeing and some of my friends, they have seen me wing myself off of this medication many a times. Just to the point of wanting to see if I can function better. Over a period of time, my walking has gotten better. That's because I constantly do it instead of keep myself in a chair unless, I'm at the house. I'm at home, I'm usually in my wheelchair because I take my leg off for my leg to breathe. But, it's, like I say, man, you just gotta get up there and do it. Quit being so lazy. And then, on top of that, if you're living a more healthy lifestyle, then what do you think it looks like whenever you step in front of a woman? Your facial colors are showing more through. You look more healthier. You're more energetic. You have that sense of, you have that better sense of a man coming out of you. And think about it. I mean, look how much we have gotten lazy over the years, and look at the problems that we're having in America. Unfortunately, it seems like we're at fault for a lot of it. Us male figures. It's getting lazy and not doing what we should be doing that finds us, per se. Getting a job and going to work is more than just a fucking paycheck. It's your pride. It's your integrity. It's your place in life. It's your place in the community. It's what you do for your family to provide them food and shelter and clothes and other things that are essential in life. Quit being lazy. Get up off your butt and go do something. Leave the video games alone. It's hard to sit there and want to be with somebody whenever you know that they're going to be on the video game 24/7. That's bullshit. I hear it from so many females, from my friends and stuff. Sometimes it's, all he does is come home from work and jump on that damn video game. It's like, you eventually have to fucking talk him. I don't know, dude, what the hell you doing, man? Quit ignoring your wife. She's trying to have some alone time with you and all that good shit. All right, we're gonna listen to this a little bit with Tomi Lahren, and Biden could be the only threat to Trump.
Let's go out to California. Tomi Lahren is joining us live. Tomi, you're from Texas originally. What did you think of that?
Well, I spent the last 2 years in Texas, and I got to tell you, the liberals would love to take the state. They still have this delusional mentality that somehow they're going to turn Texas blue. I think Texans are going to love what Ted Cruz is doing. I think they're going to find it humorous. I think they're going to like that he's poking fun at his opponent, and I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win big, as are the rest of the Republicans in red Texas.
Mm-hmm. Well, yesterday, the exit polls showed that the number of Democrats who voted in the primary went way up, far outpaced the number of Republicans. So something's going on there.
No, something definitely is going on, and I watch it for the last 2 years, and you're seeing it in the urban centers. Here's the thing. I'm in California now, but most people from California are going to Texas. Why? Because they like the low regulations in Texas. Then they get to Texas and they want to turn it into California. I don't quite understand it, but I think that there are enough conservatives, enough Republicans in Texas to keep it red. I'm not worried.
Tomi, speaking of Texas, there's a liberal Texas sheriff who's refusing to give deputies life-saving body armor because she refuses to hold, or because sorry, let me make sure. Because she is refusing to hold arrested illegal immigrants for federal immigration authorities, so they cannot be processed. What do you think Texans think of that?
Texans are not going to be happy about this. Americans should not be happy about this. This is what I don't understand about the Democratic Party. Why have they made it their official party platform to cuddle illegal immigrants? I don't understand it. I can't imagine how real Democrats feel about this. This is a change. The Democratic Party used to be about working class Americans. Now it's about illegal immigrants. And this sheriff placing illegal immigrants over police officers, Texans aren't going to like it. Americans are not going to like it. I don't think voters are going to like it either.
Well, their hope is the Hispanic community thinks it's a pro-Hispanic thing to do, since, especially in Texas. And the other thing to keep in mind, too, is that